Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is the approval of the August minutes. Everybody had a chance to read them. If there's no additions or corrections, need a motion to approve.
So move.
A motion, need a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Unfinished business. K-21.
Yeah, we had a ribbon cutting Friday for the K-21 courts. It was really nice. We pulled up there. The pickleball courts were being used as we pulled up for the ribbon cutting, so that was kind of nice. The courts have been open since October 1st. We've had extensive play on the courts. We've had 3 pickleball courts used at once. We've had tennis courts used simultaneously with the pickleball courts, so everything seems to be with good play there. Those courts were, it was $82,400 for those courts, and we got a grant for $53,000 from the K-21 Foundation for those. Between the Kelly Park project and the K-21 courts, K-21 has given over $80,000 towards our court reconditioning. So we're also contacted by 2 individuals, one that was interested in doing pickleball clinics, and another one that was interested in doing tennis clinics. So we've got scheduled talks with them. So look in our 23 guide, recreational guide for tennis and pickleball clinics. We look to do some youth clinics and some pickleball clinics for all ages. So
Is it the same person who wants to do the 2 different clinics?
it is
or
not.
different
It's two
people?
different individuals. One is strictly tennis, loves tennis, and part of the tennis community, and the other one is the pickleball person that plays pickleball that resides in Florida 7 months out of the year and comes up here and lives in Winona Lake and is interested in doing clinics. And the other one actually lives by Pike Lake, the tennis instructor that would like to do that. So, but I think everything's great. We've even had people play under the lights down there. So
Cool.
we'll have the nets up until November 1st, and then we'll take them down there in Kelly and then put them back up again in April. So.
Any questions? Okay, moving on, office maintenance garage update.
Yeah, if you haven't been by there, I mean, the walls are up, it's being enclosed and the roof's going on. I guess the plan is to get the exterior done and covered for the elements so they can do some work inside over the winter months. Plan is to do the exterior concrete and the base of the asphalt yet this winter, and then do the finished asphalt in the springtime is the last report we had. All the furnishings for the building, the truck lifts, the smart board, for the break room and training room, those things have all been ordered and purchased. So we're just currently working on the signage for the building to get that going. So the project is still on course for March 1st completion date. So we've had no weather delays as our last construction meeting. So
Until it started snowing.
yeah. Well, they got the roof on, so that's good. I mean, they were putting walls up still today on the inside, so,
It looks wonderful. When I
Yeah.
drove by
Yeah.
a couple days ago. It was just,
yeah.
When that first started, I thought, boy, this thing's not very big. Now you come down by the fire station,
Yeah.
this place looks pretty good size.
Pretty impressive,
Now,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally different.
Yeah, we're excited to get in it. It'll be nice.
I told him the same thing. Okay, any questions, comments? Okay, next up, Rarick Park update.
Rarick Park, I don't know if you've been by Rarick Park or not, but a lot's happening over there. Of course, we tore out the 20-some-year-old playground equipment. Since then, we've hauled in about 13 ton of fill dirt to put in the park, raised the elevation there. Our employees, our carpenters have built a brand-new 20-foot gazebo with an interior bench that you can sit and look at all directions. We have a circular sidewalk that we're finishing up, all but 20 feet of it this Friday, or is our last pour. We'll leave that 20-foot section open so we can get in there and install the playground equipment in the spring. We've put landscaping in the front, new bushes, decorative rock, the sidewalk there, but we're doing all this in-house by our employees. So We've had several people in the neighborhood stop by and thank us for the improvements. And, we did this 5-year master plan survey. We asked them what they wanted in the neighborhood, and they seem to be happy with what they're seeing. So if you haven't been over by there, I encourage you to go by and take a look at it. It's changing the park tremendously, so.
Yeah, I had somebody ask me, they said, "Oh, you're on the park board, aren't you?" And I live over, by Railroad Park, and they commented about how it was looking so great. They didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but they were excited to see it finally getting upgraded and that they would have a neighborhood park that was usable for them.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, we'll install the playground in the spring. They're individual pieces, so it shouldn't take as long as, a whole piece should take. Plus that, we've got fill dirt in there that's really compacted really hard, so we won't have the wet ground problem like we had at Byra where we had to wait. And then the basketball courts are scheduled to be lined and striped in the spring too. So it'll all come together. We'll get grass grown in the spring, and we'll have phase 1 of that project completed. And it'll be a game changer for that neighborhood. Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. On to new business. Center Lake Pavilion update.
Well, as you can see by the pictures there, the work continues on the Center Lake Pavilion. The crews have went in and they're, tearing down walls. They're, taking the ceiling down. They're pretty much gutting the interior. The progress is being made, that's for sure. We have construction meetings there every 2 weeks as well, and progress seems to be right on track. So we'll look for a September of next year completion, and project's moving on.
Comments? Okay. Next up, Pine Mound Fountain Planting, Central Park.
Yeah, this is something that I wanted to bring in front of the board. The pine mound that separates Indiana Street from the NIPSCO substation. In 1994, the pines, the blue spruces were planted on that hill mound. And there's a disease going around for blue spruces right now that are just tearing them up. We've had 3 trees that we've had to take out of there. Some of the trees are overgrown into the road and we've trimmed around the lights. And then others are just topped off by NIPSCO by the power lines there. So we had Dogwood Hills Trees Farm come down and look at some alternatives. And we decided if the park employees would take out the pine trees there, we would do 5 to 6 foot arborvitaes for the 217 foot along the top of that hill and give it a fresh look and a fresh start and still have the buffering there between the NIPSCO substation and the Indiana Street. So that's what I would like to ask the board if we could have your permission to move ahead with that project. And with that being said, also, we had him look at the trees around the fountain area at Central Park. We lost 2 trees, Bradford pear trees during the windstorm that came through there. We've got several other that show some what I want to say branch deterioration there as well. So we're looking at that as well, removing some of the interior trees there and replacing them with other trees through there too. So I know in the next few years we're going to have to look at the pines that separate McDonald's from Central Park, because as we go through, these pines are just with disease, and as they get bigger, they get really stringy, and you can see right through them, and they're really not a very good barrier. So I think it's important to keep up on replacing some of these trees and updating as we go. I don't know if you've noticed the islands on Indiana Street and Canal Street. We did the islands earlier this year on Indiana Street, and we just did the ones on Canal Street just about 3 weeks ago. They're smaller bushes, but they'll mature. They'll really look nice. They'll look more like the Indiana Street on the south end. They'll be big. But it's just something, I mean, with bushes, shrubs, everything, I mean, after a 25-year period, you're bound to have to replace and replenish and update. So with that being said, I would like the board's permission to move forward with the pine mound, replacing those trees with the row of arborvitaes.
Does NIPSCO have any issues with what you're putting in there?
They do not. I even contacted them and asked them if they would be willing to help some with that, and I have not gotten a response from them. That was about 4 months ago that I asked. when they were doing some things in their substation, and we had some damage in Central Park, and we asked them if they would be willing to help us with that project, and they have not heard anything from them.
I saw the pictures that you sent out.
Yeah.
The pines look pretty rough, so I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a motion then to allow replacement of those trees.
I would make that motion to replace the trees, pine trees as Larry's lined out.
A motion, need a second?
I can second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
There.
Thank you. I think it'll be a big change. It'll be nice, nice when I have our nice new building there. It'll be a nice, good row of trees, and we've got the Indiana Street done, so it'll really be a sharp corridor through there when that gets finished. So, yeah, appreciate that.
You ready to keep talking?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, maintenance report.
Well, since John's in North Carolina on the beach, I'll take this for you. Now, since our last meeting, we have, of course, we've cleared all the contents out of the Center Lake Pavilion. You don't know how much you have in there until you take everything out of there, but we've got that done, and as I mentioned before, the construction's well underway. We had another successful campground year. We've closed the campground for the season. Piers are removed. Tables and fire rings are hauled out, and the water lines are winterized, so we've got that all done. Most of the winterization is done in the parks. We do have to do Central Park and Lucerne Park, as well as the plaza restrooms, but we'd like to wait until after the farmer's market to do these up here. So those will be done within the next week, and then after the 29th, we'll do these out here. As you well know, according to the pictures I've attached here, we had extensive tree damage and cleanup at Lucerne Park and at Kelly Park. Kelly Park really got hammered during that storm. We lost 7 or 8 trees out there. We had trees up in top of trees. We had them in the neighbor's yard. We had them, just everywhere out there. So it took about 2 weeks to clean up and do that at Kelly Park and Central Park. We lost 3 trees at Central Park, 2 around the fountain area and 1 at the bus stop along Canal Street. So we prepped the parking lot at Bixler Park. Of course, we have the new pickleball courts and tennis courts over there, K21 courts, but we've also got that prepped and ready to go, and the street department is going to put some new asphalt on that parking lot. So just another way to beautify that area over there. And then, of course, we're looking at the Center Lake Recreational Trail. If that comes through there, it'll be sidewalks attaching the pickleball courts and to the recreational trail. So we're excited to see that all happen. We're in full swing with the electrical upgrade at the campgrounds. Our electrician has that as far as it can go. We're waiting on NIPSCO to set a pole and a transformer out there. But with this upgrade, we'll have 6 meters instead of 1. We'll have a meter for each row at the campgrounds. So when we have a problem, we're able to shut 1 row at a time down, where now we're stuck. We're at the mercy of NIPSCO. We can't shut it off. And if we have a problem, we shut the whole campgrounds down. So we're excited about that. It'll be a nice upgrade on our end, and we'll have nice new electric overhead wires, and this should be a good thing. So there's a few things we're working on. Table removal from the parks. We started on Christmas lights today, checking
gonna
Christmas
ask.
lights and doing that. The snow came at the right time, so we started it. But and then, of course, our work at Rarick Park. So everybody's busy. We're still at it.
Comments, questions?
Question,
Yep.
with the addition of K21 pickleball courts in Kelly, what's the total number now that we have of pickleball?
We have 8.
8 total.
Yes.
8, 3
8 and 3
tennis.
tennis courts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Larry is up next.
Yeah, Stephanie's on vacation as well, so I told her this,
Recreation
but
report.
she gave me a little report before she left. The Fall Family Fun that was held October 7th from 6 to 8. They had a record crowd. Over 1,600 people attended that. Last year we had 400 to 600. I think some of that was due to more activities, better advertising. We had great weather. It was a beautiful night that night. We had animals. We had a haunted cabin. which we didn't have before. We had vendors, we had snow cones, popcorn. We even had Anderson Greenhouse selling pumpkins and gourds out there. So it was good to see that happen. We started a half hour or so early and went a half hour or so late, just to accommodate all the people on the hayride, and it was just a great night. So that was the one thing going. We're getting ready for Light Up the Night, December 2nd. This will be in Central Park with Santa on the stage. We'll have glow necklaces and goodie bags while supplies last, and I'm sure Stephanie will be asking the park board for their assistance in handing that stuff out that night. So, and then we have Santa's Workshop Saturday, December 10th, from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Peakthorn Center Gym. You build your own toys, you stuff your own animals, and get the chance to see Santa there as well. So a lot of holiday activities going on, and they did a great job at the Fall Family Fun. I'm really proud of them.
Questions, comments? Okay. Mayor, did you have anything or just come to watch?
Well, I kind of came to watch, but I just really wanted to thank K21 for the support they've given the community. The pickleball craze is obviously hit Warsaw, and we've gone from 0 to 8 courts in several years, and couldn't have done it without K21. Got some really good quality tournament courts kind of down at Kelly Park, and then we've got some great recreational courts up here. The work was fantastic. We expanded that area, and I know we've gone from 5 tennis courts down to 3, and I just asked Sean to kind of keep an eye on how these are being used. I'd just be curious to know if we're getting that upswing in pickleball and how tennis is fitting in. I certainly would hate to step on tennis players' toes if they need more space, but I think Larry did a great job laying those out, 2 courts under the lights for tennis, 4 pickleball, and I just really am thankful K21 for what they've done and their generosity. So
Yeah, they've done a great job for us. I've driven by there several times. There seems to be quite a few people using those courts. So, other matters?
Happening.
I do.
Okay.
It's almost time for a holiday dinner where we treat the employees. Is everybody in this year again? Okay, all right. We can go to work on that. Well, we can't, you can.
Do you have a particular, do you guys have a particular date or time, or is that something you want Suzanne just to send that out? and
Yeah, she usually,
Do a doodle?
they
Okay.
send that out. If anybody has any caterers you're interested in or something, like,
Maybe you should make chili this year.
yeah, we'll see. I might. Man.
kind of put it on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I just told them I'm making about 5 gallons for Thanksgiving, so, or Thanksgiving. Halloween. Because our neighborhood down there is crazy.
You know, I'm good for the pumpkin squares. So we're
Yeah.
good there.
Our mom
always-
is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
My mom always loves
good?
making those
Yeah.
for us, so, yeah.
I hope
Okay.
your mom leaves the recipe to somebody.
Yeah.
Continue
Yeah.
this tradition.
Meeting review, this is kind of Larry's night to shine. There, we were talking earlier, it could be we don't need all these other people because he seems to.
We definitely need them. They do a great
Yeah.
job, and they
Yeah.
deserve their vacation,
I
that's
know.
for sure.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a good crew. Basically updates tonight. And everything, it seems, is really coming along and gonna be some big, nice changes for the city.
Yeah, a lot happening in the
Yeah.
Parks Department. yeah.
With that, we need a motion to adjourn.
I wanted to say one more thing I forgot. I'd like to thank the Parks Department for assisting the Pike Lake Association with the water control level, taking care of those boards. So those will be removed on October 31st to allow the water flow to go through. And DNR decided they did not want to be in charge of that anymore and kind of brought it back. And so both our Parks Department and our Utilities Department stepped up, and they're providing the truck and then personnel to go out there and help us. So I would like to say thank you for stepping up and doing that.
Yep, no problem. You guys are looking forward to it.
Yeah, who doesn't want to get in the water on
That's right.
October 31st?
Question, Larry, on,
Yeah.
I know the last couple of years with the pandemic, the campground, the camp spots have been at a premium and filled up rather quickly. Has there been any feedback now that that seems to have subsided a little bit with people that were there this past year about next year?
No, there's, we have several coming back for sure. There were some, we always have a handful of them that don't know, they're up in the air about it, but it seems like for the most part, it's business as usual. Yeah, we've had a full house almost all year long. We like to keep 4 or 5 spots to rent, to people coming to town, but it was another good year,
Yeah.
another good year.
Like
Yeah.
full all the time?
Yeah, yeah.
I talked to a few people the last day they were open, they seemed to have a pretty good year down there.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
Take care of your boat.
Oh, I will.